Late one night, Emily slept alone in her bed in dimly lit room. The only sound, the faint hum of the old ceiling fan above her. It had been quiet at first, too quiet. But tonight, the silence felt different. She could hear something. Whispers, soft at first, almost inaudible, like someone murmuring just behind her. She froze, her heart pounding in her ears. The whispers grew louder, more distinct. They were coming from the dark hallway outside her door. Her hands trembled as she reached for her phone. She texted her friend, "Are you still up? I keep hearing whispers." "Am I crazy?" No reply. She glanced at the time. 3:00 a.m. The whispers continued, growing clearer. A name. That's her name. "Emily!" Her pulse quickened. She stood slowly from her bed, her feet cold against the hardwood floor. Her hand rested on the doorknob, but she hesitated. The sound of the whispering voice, Emily. She opened the door, her breath catching in her throat as she stepped into the dark hallway. The shadows at the end of the hall seemed to stretch toward her. A figure standing in the darkness, barely visible. It was tall, unnaturally still, its face hidden in the shadows. The figure whispered her name again, this time with a chilling finality.
Emily,
come closer.
come closer.
Her body refused to move, but her eyes couldn't look away. The room behind her seemed distant now. Her mind screamed to run, but her legs were frozen in place. Suddenly, the figure stepped forward and the whispering stopped. Emily's heart stopped as she saw its face, pale, gaunt, its eyes hollow, black, empty. "You shouldn't have come here," the figure rasped, its voice like dry leaves scraping across stone. Then, in a blink, it vanished. The hallway was empty. But just as she thought it was over, she heard it again, a whisper, so close to her ear she could feel the breath on her skin. "It's not done." The voice came again, this time from behind her. Her body jerked in terror, but she didn't turn around. She couldn't. The shadows felt closer, pressing in from every side. She took a slow, shaky step forward, hoping to get to the stairs, hoping to escape, but then she froze, her breath catching in her throat as a shadow moved across the wall ahead of her. A figure. It moved with jerky, unnatural motions. Its limbs, too long, too thin. It slid out of the darkness, its eyes glowing with a faint, ghostly light. Emily. Then she felt it. Something cold and wet brushing her neck. A hand, fingers? She whipped around, but there was nothing there. Only the oppressive dark and the whispered call of her name. "Emily, we've been waiting." The voice, this time not from one direction, but all around her, pressed against her skull, making her head spin. She wanted to scream, but no sound came out. Her throat was paralyzed with fear. She took another step forward, her mind screaming for her to get to the stairs. But the figure in the hallway stepped in her path again, blocking her way. This time, it wasn't alone. More figures. Surrounding her. Fixed on her. Join us. The shadows seemed to bend and stretch toward her, their fingers like tendrils of smoke, reaching for her skin. Her vision blurred. She stumbled back, trying to move, but the figures closed in on her, their whispers turning into a chant. Over and over again, their voices blended together, a maddening sound that threatened to drown out her own thoughts. "We are here." A cold hand grazed her arm, and she cried out, finally breaking the silence. She collapsed to the floor, shaking uncontrollably. The shadows pressed in, their faces just inches from hers, their breath foul and heavy. "You shouldn't have come." The figure closest to her hissed, its mouth splitting wide, revealing rows of teeth, sharp and jagged like shards of broken glass. With a final, guttural scream, the shadows lunged. The last thing Emily saw was the darkness closing in around her, swallowing her whole. Then, silence.